Something that seems to come up a lot is how to roll an object on its edge, like a bottle cap or a quarter or something like that that's rolling and coming to the stop. And basically the effect I'm talking about is when you rotate up on an edge like this and then you roll, whoops, wrong axis. Should we rotate Y? There we go. You roll along that edge like that. And you can see how it just looks like it's rolling along on that edge. And there's a very simple way to do this, which I'm going to show you. So what I'm going to do is just take all this back to 0. And I'm going to duplicate my cylinder here. So I have a second one. I'll hide the original stuff. So with my cylinder here, I'm just going to group it to itself. This is going to be my reverse group. So I'm just going to put a little name in there for rev group. And I'm going to group it to itself. And this is going to be my first tilt group. I'm going to insert, press V, and snap it to the edge. I'm going to show its transform. Under display, you have this thing called a selection handle. I'm just going to show that for now because it's an easy way to grab a hold of that. I'm going to group it to itself again. And this time I'm going to hit insert and V, snap it to the other side. And again, I'm going to show that display of the selection handle, so I have something I can grab onto. So you see that I have just two tilts here. I'm going to open this up so I can tilt it side to side. And I'll call this one, like, say, R, T, and this one called L, T for tilt. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just group it to itself. So I have my top. It doesn't like it with the top, so I'm going to say control. It doesn't really matter. You can put curves and whatever else you want to put it on here, but I just want to show you the basic technique to make this thing roll around. And it's really very simple. So all I'm going to do is take this top group here and connect it to the reverse groups, rotate Y. I'm going to use my tool to do it, and then I'll show you how to do it by hand. So I'm going to grab the top group, grab the ref group, rotate Y, and say connect same channel. All right, now what that's going to give you is what looks like a double transformation because it's spinning twice as fast. So what I'm going to do is go to this group here, select that rotate Y, and insert. I'm going to choose -1. Now the -1 is just a multiply divide with a -1 in it. So it basically just reverses any rotations that I'm driving into there. So if I take the top group again and I rotate it Y, you see that nothing happens. But if you look, you can see that my controls, those selection handles, are rotating around, which is what we want. So now if I go in here and grab this tilt here and tilt that up like that, I'm going to grab the top group and rotate Y, whoops, and rotate Y, and now it looks like it's rolling around on that group, on that edge. So what I'm going to do is show you in the node editor what that looks like. I'm just going to graph this out. So basically I have my top group, so you can see here, going into a multilinear, going into my reverse group. And that reverse group is the one that's just above the geometry there. So when I rotate this up, that reverse group is now up in the air. So it's actually going to counter rotate any of the Y rotations that I do. It does that every time. Whoops. There we go, rotate one. See if I get out of the tool. Why does it keep doing that? Middle mouse button drag. There we go. So if you want to do that without the tool, what I'm going to do is just kill that thing right there. Let's show my translates and rotates on my top control and the reverse control. And notice that the reverse control is up in the air, but that's okay. I'm just going to hit tab and type in molt. And you'll see that you get this thing called molt double linear. I'm going to click on that, open that up, and put a -1 into the input 2. I'll take the rotate Y. Come on. Hey. Open that up, and I'm going to drive, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Interesting. Rotate Y into input 1. So basically, when I rotate this, see I have -16 there. So this should be -16 times -1 will be 16. And take that rotate out and put it into the rotate Y, which is a little movement there. There we go. And now again, if I rotate this, come on, middle mouse button drag on that rotate Y, it looks like it's spinning on that edge. Okay, so I just wanted to add at the end just a quick way to control these tilts without having to go there and select the controls. I'm just going to add everything to the top group which again, you could add like a curve or something like that, so it's easier to select. But in this case, what I'm going to do is just going to add a channel to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is using the channel tools, I'm going to add a divider, and then I'm going to go in here and add something and call it tilt. I'm going to do like, say, let's do negative 200 and 200, so it goes back and forth on the sides. And I'm going to connect that channel to these tilt controls. So what I'm going to do is select that top group, and then select these guys. And the thing is, I can't do the connect same channel, so that's going to do, because I'm using tilt to rotate Z, so it doesn't exist. So instead, I'm going to use this connect button here, and I want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. Rotate Z, okay, good. So I'm going to select the tilt on the left side and the rotate Z on the right side. And as you can see, I have the top group on the left and both tilts on the right side. And now I can do a connect. It's going to connect that channel to the rotate Z of both of these objects. Now they're both connected. Cool. I'm going to close that down. And right now it's not going to be correct because when I do that, it's going to rotate both of them. So as you can see, they've both been affected by that, which is not what I want. So what I need to do is clamp that down. So in this case, we knew it was negative that we wanted to go to. So we can never go positive. So I'm going to select the rotate Z here. Actually, I'll select both of these guys because I'm going to use a clamp on both. Select the rotate Z and say insert clamp. And that's going to create two clamp nodes for me. And the one on the right, I want to go in here and select this clamp. And I want its max to be 0, but its minimum can be like negative 500. Doesn't matter. Whoops. 0. There we go. Yep, good. And then on the opposite one, I'm going to do the reverse of that. So its max can be like 500. And my end result should be that when I use the tilt, I can tilt back and forth between the two. And then I can go in here and rotate this, and it'll rotate along the, well, it's tilted a little higher. And then I can roll it over here like this, and now I can tilt it back and forth like that, and roll it around on its edge. That's what happened. Oh, and then that's one of the things you do want to be careful of. You want to make sure that you only rotate in the y-axis. You do other axes, it's going to do something really weird. So obviously, you may want to go down there and lock those down. Right? I think we can still scale it. Yeah, scale should still work, actually. Yeah, like that. Cool. Okay, so I hope that that helps.